Good afternoon and welcome to the Public Service Commission of South Carolina. It is Thursday, November 16th at 2 p.m. and we are here for a special commission business meeting. Let's take a roll call of commissioners. Present in the hearing room, we have Vice Chair Powers, Commissioner Justin Williams, and Chair Belser. Attending virtually, we have Commissioner Irvin, Commissioner Caston, Commissioner Thomas, Commissioner Carol Lee Williams. Before we begin with today's agendas, would you join me for a moment of silent reflection? Thank you. Good afternoon, Mr. Scarborough.
Good afternoon, Madam Chair. Good afternoon, Vice Chair Powers and Commissioners. The first item of business is to set the next regularly scheduled business meeting. Staff recommends that the next regularly scheduled commission business meeting be set for Thursday, November 30th, 2023 at 2:00 p.m.
I think we may have covered this at the last meeting, at the last regular meeting, but the next regularly scheduled business meeting will be set for Thursday, November 30th at 2 p.m.
Thank you, ma'am. Today we have 3 items on our utilities agenda and just 1 item on our transportation agenda. Item number 1 appears in docket number 2023-15E. This item involves final disposition of this docket.
Before we take a motion, I know that Commissioner Powers was on Vice Chair Powers was on medical leave when the hearing was held and therefore will not be voting on this matter. We've heard a utilities agenda item or special. It is utilities agenda item 1 as identified by Mr. Scarborough. Commissioners, is there a motion?
Madam Chair.
Commissioner Thomas is recognized.
Thank you. I move that the Commission adopt and approve the stipulation reached between the Office of Regulatory Staff and Dominion Energy South Carolina Incorporated, DESC, as just and reasonable. Consistent with adoption of the stipulation, I move that the Commission find 1. DESC Standard Offer Power Purchase Agreement, PPA, is reasonable. 2. DESC's Form PPA is reasonable. 3. DESC's Notice of Commitment to Sell forms are reasonable. 4. DESC's current application of the difference in revenue requirements method as most recently approved in order number 2022-329 to calculate the company's avoided energy and capacity costs is reasonable. 5. DESC's modeling methodology and input assumptions used to calculate its avoided energy cost rates and avoided capacity cost rates as agreed to in the stipulation are reasonable for this proceeding. 6. DESC's proposed avoided energy rate design, including DESC's proposed time of production or TOP periods as agreed to in the stipulation are reasonable for this proceeding. 7. The stipulated agreement regarding avoided energy cost is reasonable. 8. The stipulated agreement regarding avoided capacity cost is reasonable. 9. The stipulated agreement to use the proposed variable integration charge, or VIC, of $2.79 per megawatt hour is reasonable. 10. All other stipulated terms and conditions are reasonable. Further, DESC shall study and work with ORS in good faith in advance of its next biennial avoided cost filing in 2025 to discuss the potential to calculate avoided energy cost using marginal cost projections and to work with ORS to improve alignment of the company's TOP periods with the hours having the highest and lowest marginal costs of energy. DESC shall also work with ORS prior to filing its next avoided cost application to ensure the net present value calculation embedded in the VIC is accurate. Finally, there's an outstanding motion to strike portions of the LEI report. I move that the Commission grant the motion to strike. Upon hearing all testimony in context, it is clear to the Commission that the portions of testimony identified and objected to by DESC are beyond the scope of the Commission's review of the issues subject to the current proceeding and are not relevant to the commission's determination in this matter. So moved.
Thank you, Commissioner Thomas. Commissioners, we've heard the motion from Commissioner Thomas. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, starting with Commissioner Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Commissioner Justin Williams.
Aye.
Vice Chair Powers is not voting. Commissioner Carol Lee Williams.
Aye.
Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin.
Aye.
And I vote aye. The motion carries.
Item number 2 is in dockets number 2023-301C and 1997-239C. Staff recommends that this item be carried over to allow the Office of Regulatory Staff sufficient time to respond to comments filed by the South Carolina Telephone Coalition.
Item number 2 will be carried over.
Item number 3 appears in docket number 2023-70G. This is a petition for reconsideration of Commission Order number 2023-737 from the South Carolina Energy Users Committee and Texarkana Natural Gas Company.
With regard to this item, I note that Vice Chair Powers was on medical leave when the hearing was held and therefore will not be voting on this matter. Commissioners, we've heard Utilities Agenda Item 3 is described by Mr. Scarborough. Is there a motion?
Madam Chair, this is Commissioner Caston. I'd like to make a motion.
Commissioner Caston is recognized.
Thank you. Petitioner South Carolina Energy Users Committee and Texarkana Natural Gas Company filed a timely petition for reconsideration of Order 2023-737, focusing on findings and conclusions regarding the return on equity in the 18-month wind down and closure of Dominion Energy South Carolina's rate 35 and 35A. Over a 3-day period in August 2023, the Commission heard this matter involving 7 parties and received testimony from 23 witnesses. Order number 2023-737 was issued October 2nd, 2023, which included 62 findings of fact supported by the testimony of witnesses and based on a detailed analysis of the record. The Commission is the fact finder in rate proceedings and must balance the interest of the using and consuming public with that of the utility appearing before it. Additionally, the Commission's findings must be based on reliable and probative evidence in the record. As a result, this Commission is bound by the parameters of evidence in the record. The record, however, does not contain any ROE-related testimony from the petitioners. Specifically, petitioners' witness Gray and DeDonour admitted under oath at the hearing that they were not challenging the company's requested ROE of 10.38% or the 9.49% ROE agreed to in the stipulation. The Commission carefully considered the evidence presented and concluded that an ROE of 9.49% as set forth in the amended stipulation is just and reasonable and in the public interest. The evidence presented in this hearing proceeding supports that it is just and reasonable and a fair balancing of the interests of Dominion and its customers to close rates 35 and 35A effective April 1st, 2025. This deadline provides an 18-month period for rates 35 and 35A customers to transition to a natural gas rate. Importantly, leaving rates 35 and 35A open for existing customers until April 1st, 2025, benefits all rates 35 and 35A customers, including Texarkana and the South Carolina Energy Users Committee. Therefore, I move that the Commission deny the South Carolina Energy Users Committee and Texarkana Natural Gas Company's petition for reconsideration of Commission Order number 2023-737. A formal written order detailing the disposition of the petition for reconsideration will be issued on a later date. I so move.
Thank you, Commissioner Caston. Commissioners, we've heard the motion from Commissioner Caston. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, starting with Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Commissioner Justin Williams.
Aye. Aye, excuse me.
Commissioner Carol Lee Williams.
I vote aye.
And I vote aye, and Commissioner Powers is not voting. And the motion carries.
Madam Chair, that concludes all of the items on the utilities agenda. So moving on to our transportation agenda, we have just one item to address, and it appears in docket number 2023-286T. This is a request from U.S. Pro Moving, doing business as Liberty Pro Moving LLC, to amend its application for its Class E household goods certificate to read U.S. Pro Moving LLC, doing business as Liberty Pro Moving.
With regard to transportation agenda item number 1, is there a motion?
Madam Chair, I'd like to make a motion.
Vice Chair Powers is recognized.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move that the Commission grant the request of U.S. Pro Moving, doing business as Liberty Pro Moving LLC, to amend its application for Class E household goods certificate to read U.S. Pro Moving LLC, doing business as Liberty Pro Moving. So moved.
Thank you, Vice Chair. Commissioners, we've heard the motion from Vice Chair Powers. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll conduct a roll call vote, starting with Vice Chair Powers.
Vote aye.
Commissioner Carolee Williams,
I vote aye.
Commissioner Caston,
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin,
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas,
Aye.
Commissioner Justin Williams.
Aye.
I vote aye. The motion carries.
Madam Chair and Commissioners, this concludes all business notice before the Commission today.
Thank you, Mr. Scarborough. As previously announced, our next regularly scheduled business meeting will be held on Thursday, November 30th at 2 p.m. Next week is Thanksgiving, and I would like to wish everyone a very happy Thanksgiving and safe holiday during the busy weekend. And with that, we are adjourned. Thank you very much.